do is it is going to say, show me all custom default, ignore that, ignore that, ignore this. And now what you need to do is you need to choose your campaign. So let's say I chose Motivational Weekly. I can preview what these are going to look like with all of the motivational quotes right here and what day they're going out. If I wanted to view it, I can look at that too. See how my picture comes up in the top left and my logo in the bottom right. I can rearrange that in whatever direction I want. That information is all pulled from my settings, which is right here. Two things that I always look at: modify or review schedule before assigning, and notify me when the contacts have received their last scheduled email. I always do that because A, I want to know when people have been taken off of an email campaign so I can put them on another one, and B, if I need to modify something before it gets sent out, I want to make sure I do that. Then there are some advanced settings here. So looking at bulk emails, I know a lot of agents that send out bulk emails. You want to do those in the middle of the night, and I'll qualify that as anything over 50 records you want to send out in the middle of the night. You know, it's automatically set to 6 a.m., but this is my personal recommendation there, unless you wanted them to receive it at a certain time of the day. But just understand, if you're doing above 50 records, your likelihood of dropping into spam is going to increase. So then I would click Assign Selected Campaign to My Contacts, and that would be how I set up an eCampaign to one record. Now let's say I wanted to do it to this entire page. So what I would do is I would click Select All. What's really important about Select All is it selects all those records on that page, not the 1,436 records inside of my account. So then I would go Selected Actions, Selected Records, Send E-Letter, and then, oops, same process. But then I would choose the E-Letter, and it would be the same process. I would choose that E-Letter, and then I would go into those advanced settings. But let's say I wanted to send it to a group. So then I come up here to the top and I go Groups, and let's choose this Demo Farm number 1, and then I click Search. Then it's going to give me all the emails I've downloaded from that farm. Then same process, Selected Actions, not same process. Selected Actions, Search Results instead of Selected Records, then it is the same process. Then I click Send to an E-Letter or to an eCampaign. I can select that E-Letter or eCampaign and I can send it out. But something that's really popular is people want to send out an email campaign to every single person inside of their farm. Just fine. You can absolutely do that. So what you do is you get the group section and you leave it to all. And then you click Search. Let the page refresh. It's going to look like nothing happened. But then I come down to the bottom and I go Selected Actions, Search Results, Send eCampaign, let's say. I should have chosen E-Letter, but oh well. But now I'm sending an email to 1,436 records, so I'm definitely going to want to send this in the middle of the night. You can even choose the amount of emails to send out each time. Let's say it's 10. You know, ignore the days interval. That's irrelevant. I typed 20 instead of 10. That was my fault. And then I would click Assign Selected Campaign to Contacts. But the email marketing system is pretty intuitive. It's pretty easy to use. You do see that these emails are licensed. And what's important to note is, let me go in my settings here. The email that you sign up with is the email that I use to send out your email. So, you know, for me, I signed up with one of our programmers' emails here. His name is Ivan. I'm going to send out the emails from that email. For you, it would be from your email. So it's really, really important that you fill this information out. Now, on top of that, if I edit my logo and picture, you guys can see that that populated in the preview of those emails that I was going to be sending out to my farm. So you want to make sure that this information is loaded, as well as all of this information, because it also populates what's called your digital business card. It also populates inside of your mail merge letters, whole 9 yards. All of that information populates from your settings. What percentage email addresses do you have in your databases? So on average, we have about a 40% match rate inside of your farm, but I tend to have more information for lower income areas than I do for like Beverly Hills, because Beverly Hills doesn't need free stuff. So I normally have about 40% in terms of a match rate initially. inside of your farm, but I'm always collecting new data. So over time, you will see new data populate inside of your farm, whether that's a few emails, a few phone numbers, a couple life events. That information will populate over time inside of your farm because I'm always checking for that new data. So that was a little synopsis on the email marketing system and everything that is entailed inside of there. And there's a lot of other stuff that I find inside of your guys' farms. You guys can pull property profiles. You guys can pull probate. Probate is a little bit different than the other life events, because when I come up here to the top and I click purchase more records, I select the date range here, type in a city, I match the state. I can also search based off a zip code, and then I click search, and it tells me that there were 8 probate cases available inside of that area, inside of that time frame. So Jim asked a question, well, not really a question, or somewhat of a question and a statement. The info is great. He moved ahead and set up his account. Is there someone from customer service that will help us with all these robust options? So Jim, the answer is yes. But you also have multiple lawyers, sales reps who are on the call, who are all trained on the product. So I would go to them first. And then if you wanted to contact customer support, you would go to support. And that kind of leads me into this pretty nice, because we only have about 10 minutes left here. So inside of here, you guys can get the FAQ and the most popular questions, how much everything costs. And then right up here at the top is the contact us button. So you guys have 3 options. We have the phone call option. We have a live chat. Now, personally, the live chat is my favorite form of support. And my reason being is because I'm a very forgetful human being. When I talk to someone about something on the phone, I forget what they say like 5 minutes later, or even sooner than that if I have to do something else. With a live chat, we send you a copy of your entire transcript afterwards. So that's why I really like that information. And then you can also create a new ticket with our help desk ticketing system as well. I got a couple questions here, so let me get to these real quick. Okay. So that's how you would go about contacting customer support. And then there's video training inside of here as well. This first video is getting started. It's about 15 minutes long. It's something that I recommend every user watch. It goes through things like creating a farm, importing a farm, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, reading your data analytics, marketing to that focus farm. It really goes through everything that we've talked about today in about 15 minutes or so, kind of condensing the important things down inside of the product. And I got a couple more questions here. Okay. Yes, Patricia, I will get to all of those. I'm getting there. So that's the video training. And then we have the webinar series as well that you guys can register for inside of the product. I covered this stuff because someone asked me a question that directed me to this area, but I do have a couple other things to go through. One is what's called the digital deep dive. Deep dive is I'm trying to find 4 sets of information on an individual. I'm trying to find social media, demographic, lifestyle and interest, financial, household, and auto. So here I wasn't able to find this lady's social media information, but what I do know is that she's a single parent. I know her date of birth, I know her age, I know her gender, education, religious affiliation. I know what she's interested in, technology, magazines, investing, jewelry, travel, books, whole 9 yards. I can use that to kind of steer a conversation in the direction I want. And then I know their estimated household income. I know that they drive a 2004 Chevy Suburban, so on and so forth. So I can find a lot of information on an individual. And what's really nice about this is if I go back into a farm, I'm not limited to just owner-occupied homes. If I come to absentee and I click on a record, I can also find the same kind of information on a renter. So I'm not limited to just owner-occupied. I can find that same information on a renter as well, which is really, really awesome. So over here on the left, view farm subdivision, there's that marketing section that we walked through. There are property profiles inside of here as well. And this works by typing in an address that I select. And then from here, it's going to say radius farm, which is if I wanted to draw a farm 1/2 mile to 5 miles from that property. I could pull the property profile, which also, if I'm paying the $12 a year, I can have a branded property profile as well. And then there's the pricing confidence report. Now this is $8 per report, but it's a highly analytical report that lets you know how much that property would sell for in 30, 60, and 90 days for the approximate price and the range that we can be off in either direction as well. This is also using a single digit inaccuracy AVM, so it's about 8%. Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, those guys are about 20 to 30%, so it's a lot more accurate, and it can be generated in about a second or two. Renee asked a question, is there a PowerPoint for each feature, how to use, to look at? I'm not expecting you to remember all of this stuff, but I wouldn't say there's a PowerPoint. If I come back to support, I would download the user manual that's inside of the support section that can walk you through all of that, or contact your lawyer's title representative to walk you through whatever features that you need help with. So with that being said, that is kind of your 3,000-foot overview of everything inside of LT Dynamic Farm. There's a lot of different things that you guys can do inside of here, but the most important things for you guys to remember is I'm going to be keeping your farm up to date over time, and I'm going to be providing you with that focus farm. Those are the two features that I would spend most of my time focusing on. And then from there, I can, start expanding out the audience that I want to market to. Maybe I want to do buyers, long-term homeowners. Maybe I want to do equity, whatever it may be. I always say start by signing up for the free version, draw a couple of farms, market to your focus farm, and then just kind of take it day by day. And if I could leave you guys with one technology tip, products like this are not super difficult to learn, in terms of like how I learned how to use my CRM, how I learned how to navigate the Facebook Business Manager. I've done it all the same way, and every piece of tech, I've always done it the same way. I sign up for a piece of technology. I spend 1-2 hours, maybe sometimes even 3 hours inside of the product, and I click every single button. And I'll tell you guys, with this product in particular, I came from selling phone chargers. It took me longer to know what these words on the screen meant than it did for me to learn how to navigate the product. So if you can go inside of a product like this and just click every button, just spend a couple hours on a Saturday, click every button, you'll never have to do it again. But with that being said, that is everything that I have for you guys today. I just wanted to thank you guys for attending. I'm definitely going to stay on for a little bit longer in case anybody has any questions that they would like to ask. But again, I just want to reiterate, the key of this program is keeping your farms up to date over time and then marketing to that focused farm. I answered a lot of questions throughout the duration of the webinar. So if anybody has any other questions, feel free to ask those at this time. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys might have on anything LT Dynamic Farm or anything, geo farming related. Awesome. Well, I don't really see anybody asking any questions, and I see people that are logging off. So again, I just wanted to thank everybody for their time today. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about LT Dynamic Farm. The link to sign up is ltdynamicfarm.com. Then there's going to be a system access code. I spelled LT Dynamic wrong. Then there's going to be a system access code that you guys are going to need. So reach out to your lawyer's title representative to get that system access code. Thank you, Renee. Hope you are staying healthy as well. I know it's a little difficult. Thank you, Anna. I really appreciate that. Someone raised their hand. So yes, Patricia, I just said that. Who raised their hand? Trying to find that. That doesn't look like it's raised anymore. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate it. can you print that link for sign up? I guess